morning. I would like to invite Jadecia Butler to pray. Oh. Good morning, everyone. Can we please bow our heads in prayer? Can you please stand? Thank you. Now I will invite Janice to pray.
Good morning. Let us bow our head and pray. Heavenly Father, morning. Heavenly Father, thank you for bringing us here safely. As we began this new journey of youth leadership, we ask for your guidance and wisdom. Help us to work in harmony and purpose. Give us clarity of thought and unity of mind so that our decision may reflect may reflect with, may reflect your will and continue to great good of all involved. Bless us on their wing. Amen.
You may now be seated. Good morning, all. The first item of the agenda is the swearing-in ceremony of the members of the Youth Barbuda Council. I will now call them by the order. Mr. Ezekiel Francois.
I, Ezekiel Clifton Francois, do solemnly swear that I will faithfully bear true allegiance to the people and citizens of Barbuda and uphold the Constitution and laws duly enacted by the Constitution of Antigua and Barbuda, so help me God.
Miss Kadale Joseph.
I, Kadale Kele Kisane Joseph, do solemnly swear that I will faithfully bear true allegiance to the people and citizens of Barbuda and uphold the Constitution and laws duly enacted by the Constitution of Antigua and Barbuda, so help me God.
Miss Savannah Benjamin.
I, Savannah Sinaya Portia Benjamin, do solemnly swear that I will faithfully bear the true allegiance to the people and citizens of Barbuda and uphold the Constitution and laws duty enhanced by the Constitution of Antigua and Barbuda, so help me God.
Mr. J. Coy Harris.
I, Jacoy Jakari Jekwan Harris, do solemnly swear that I will faithfully bear true allegiance to the people of citizens of Barbuda and uphold the Constitution and laws duly enacted by the Constitution of Antigua and Barbuda. So help me God.
Miss Jadecia Butler.
I, Janacia Butler, do solemnly affirm that I will faithfully bear true allegiance to the people and citizens of Barbuda and uphold the Constitution and the laws duly enacted by the Constitution of Antigua and Barbuda. So God help me.
Miss Condoleezza D'Souza. Daniel.
I, Condoleezza Zoria Foxy Daniel, do solemnly swear that I will faithfully bear true allegiance to the people and citizens of Barbuda and uphold the Constitution and laws duty enhanced by Constitution of Antigua and Barbuda. So help me God.
Miss Zawadi Weber.
I, Zoadi Zahir Nikisha Weber, do solemnly affirm that I will faithfully bear the true allegiance to the people and citizens of Barbuda and uphold the Constitution and laws duly enhanced by the Constitution of Antigua and Barbuda. So God help me.
Miss Alexandria D'Souza.
I, Alexandra Primrose D'Souza, do solemnly swear that I will faithfully bear true allegiance to the people and citizens of Barbuda and uphold the Constitution and law duly enacted by the Constitution of Antigua and Barbuda. So help me God.
Miss Alena Ambris.
I, Alena Ameya Ambris, do solemnly swear that I faithfully bear true allegiance to the people and citizens of Barbuda and uphold the Constitution and laws duly enacted by the Constitution of Antigua and Barbuda. So help me God.
Miss Janae Elliott.
I, Jeanette Telencia Elliott, do solemnly affirm that I will faithfully bear true allegiance to the people and citizens of Barbuda and uphold the Constitution and laws duly enacted by the Constitution of Antigua and Barbuda. So help me God.
Mr. KJ Williams.
I, KJ Marquis Williams, do solemnly swear that I will faithfully bear true allegiance to the people and citizens of Barbuda to uphold the Constitution and law duly enacted by the Constitution of Antigua and Barbuda. So help me God.
I will now turn over to MP Butler.
Good morning, all. I must thank you all for taking the time out to be here today. I know most of us have busy schedules, but it means a lot to us that you are here, and I hope you enjoy what we have prepared for you. I now recognize Mr. Ezekiel Francois.
for recognizing me, Madam Chair. I rise to move a motion that the agenda that was circulated yesterday be adopted.
Is there a seconder? I recognize Ms. Elliott. There is a motion moved by Mr. Francois, seconded by Ms. Elliott, to move the motion to accept the agenda for today to be accepted. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. All right, then we should be moving accordingly. We are at item number 2, which is chairman remarks, which will be brief. In according to Section 4 of the Barbuda Local Government Act, we are mandated to select a chairman and a deputy chairman every year, 1 in January of every year, if there is no election, and 2, right after an election. I will now welcome a motion to nominate the chairman of the Barbuda Youth Council. I recognize Mr. Jacoy Harris.
I nominate Mr. Ezekiel Francois as chairman.
I recognize Senator Williams.
I second that motion.
Is there any other motion? It has been moved by Mr. Harris and seconded by Senator Williams that Mr. Ezekiel Francois be elected chairman of the Barbuda Council. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against? Mr. Ezekiel Francois has been elected chairman of the Barbuda Council. I am now going to move a motion for deputy chairman. I recognize Mr. Francois.
Thank you again, Madam Chair. I want to move the motion to nominate Ms. Kadari Joseph as deputy chair.
I recognize Ms. D'Souza.
I second that motion.
Is there any other motion? It has been moved by Mr. Francois and seconded by Ms. D'Souza that Kadalia Joseph be appointed as deputy chair. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Congratulations, Ms. Joseph. Now my task has ended and I will turn it over to the chairman of the Barbuda Youth Council Association, Mr. Ezekiel Francois, and I hope your task is productive.
Good morning all once again. You guys sound a bit dead today for the first youth council. Good morning all once again. Morning. Wonderful. Thank you again for choosing me as chairman. They didn't have much of a choice, but thank you again. So we will get right on with the agenda. I will entertain a motion for us to continue forming the Youth Barbuda Council, and it will start with nominations for the Education Committee. I recognize Mr. Jacoy Harris.
I nominate Savannah as chairman for education.
Okay. Do I have a seconder? Ms. Danielle?
I second that motion.
All right. Ms. Benjamin, do you accept? Yes. Okay, so now the council put it to a vote. All in favor for Ms. Savannah Benjamin to be education chair? Aye?
Aye.
All against? Good, the ayes have it. Congratulations, Ms. Benjamin. Okay. Let's move right along on the agenda. The next thing we have is the Sports and Youth Affairs Committee Chair. I recognize Ms. Butler.
I second Ms. Elliott.
Okay. You moved the motion? Okay. Do I have a seconder? I recognize Mr. Harris.
I second that motion.
Okay. So it's been moved and seconded that Ms. Janae Elliott be Sports and Youth Affairs Chair. Ms. Elliott, do you accept? Yes. Okay, so now the council now put it to a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
All against? Okay, congratulations, Ms. Elliott. We now move on to the Public Utilities Chair, which is also the Deputy Chair of the Health Committee. I recognize Ms. D'Souza.
I nominate Alina Ambrose.
Okay. Do I have a seconder? I recognize Ms. D'Souza. Sorry, Ms. Joseph, sorry.
I second that motion.
Okay. Ms. Alina Ambrose has been nominated to be the Public Utilities Chair. Do you accept?
Yes, I do.
Okay, it will be moved to a vote of the council. All those in favor? Aye. All those against? All right, congratulations, Ms. Ambrose. Next, we have Tourism and Culture Committee Chair. Do we have any nominations? I recognize Ms. Savannah Benjamin. Oh, okay, Okay, do we have a seconder? I recognize our resident seconder, Mr. Harris.
I second that motion.
Thank you, Mr. Harris. Right. So it will be put to a vote that Ms. Connie Daniel be elected chair of the Tourism and Culture Committee. Do you accept, first of all? Yes. All right. So we're going to put a vote of aye. Aye? Aye. Okay, aye. So congratulations, Ms. Daniel. Now we have the Works and General Purposes Committee Chair. We'll put it to a vote. I recognize Ms. Kadalia Joseph.
I nominate Mr. J. Coy Harris.
Okay. Do we have a second though? I recognize Ms. Ambrose.
I second that motion.
Okay, Mr. Harris, do you accept? All right. So we'll put it to a vote now. All those in favor of Jacoy Harris to be Works and General Purpose Committee Chair, say aye. Aye. All those against? Wonderful. I will now entertain for the Health Committee Chair. I recognize Ms. Elliott. Okay, do I have a seconder? I recognize our resident secretary, Mr. Harris.
I second that motion.
All right. Do you accept? All right, so the council will now put it to a vote. All those in favor? Aye. All those against? Okay. So we have the Fisheries and Coastal Protection Committee. I will be taking nominations. I recognize Ms. Kadalia Joseph.
I nominate Ms. Alexandria de Souza.
All right. Do we have a seconder? I recognize Ms. Weber.
I second that motion.
Okay, Mr. Souza, do you accept?
I do accept.
Well, by now you know that we're going to put it to a vote. All those in favor? Aye. All those against? All right, wonderful. The ayes have it. The last committee is going to be Finance Chair. This is me. So I'm going to recognize Mr. Harris again.
I nominate Ms. Ezekiel Francois as finance.
All right, I recognize Ms. Daniel. Mr. Ezekiel Francis, do you accept? Well, I will, yes. So we'll now put it to a vote. Are those in favor of Ezekiel Francis being Finance Committee Chair? Aye. Well, I hope so. Are those against? The ayes have it. So now we have officially formed the Youth Barbuda Council. I think we can give ourselves a round of applause. All right. So before we start, now that we have officially started, I want to welcome each and every you for being here, taking the time out. We do appreciate it. And before we go further, I would want us to recognize a moment of silence on behalf of Mr. Atkinson Bezo. He's funeral is tomorrow. He's a former council member. So I recognize that now. All right, thank you. So the Youth Barbuda Council, we are here today to discuss the issues. We are here today to discuss the issues that plague us as Barbudan youth. And we have some topics here, and we will be going through them. And the topics will be between improving education exam performance, grade 6 and CSEC, expanding access to youth sports and recreational opportunities, strengthening unity between Antigua and Barbuda, establishing the official Barbuda Council Youth Association, and any other business. We will start with the education. Will there be a debate? All those in favor? Aye. Okay. So I recognize the committee chair for education to get us rolling, Ms. Savannah Benjamin. Speak into the mic, yeah? No, just speak into it. Hold it? Okay, hold it.
Good day, Mr. Chairman. My name is Savannah Benjamin, a 11-year-old of the Holy Trinity Primary School. who cares a lot about the future for Barbuda, especially when it comes to education. I want to speak up for children like myself and help make our school better. I've noticed some problems in the education system and I've also thought of some solutions. We can work on together to improve education in the island. First, our schools don't always have enough laptops or even access to internet. This makes it harder for us to learn. Here's my solution. We can reach out to donors, apply for government assistance, or even ask our Barbudan community to support a donation drive. Secondly, we need more qualified teachers, and sometimes the one that we have don't even stay too long. My solution: offer support like housing, training, and even scholarship for young Barbudans who want to become teachers in the future. Third, when hurricanes hit, school is closed for weeks, even months. My solution: we need stronger school buildings and online learning plans that cater to socio-economic needs of all students. So our education doesn't stop after the passage storm. Also, I believe that we should add more fun and useful programs like art, sports, and even job skills because school isn't it's just about books. It's about discovering our talents too. Mr. Chairman, I want to be a part of the Youth Council so I can help bring these ideas forward. Even I want to work with people and make school in Barbuda the best they can be. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for acknowledging me. Good morning, council members and distinguished guests. Education and how can it be bettered? Growing up or living in Barbuda, we all know that our island is special. Beautiful beaches, a strong sense of community, and a deep cultural heritage. But when it comes to bar education, we also know that things haven't always been easy. The struggles we face. I've seen firsthand how much our students and teachers are trying, but they're working with limited tools. After Hurricane Irma, many of our schools were damaged. Some still haven't fully recovered. Even before the storm, our classrooms didn't always have enough books, technology, or even proper space to learn comfortably. Teachers are another challenge. Many talented one comes and then leave. It's hard to stay motivated when you're overworked, underpaid, and far from home. And our students, they're bright, creative, and full of potential, but they don't always see a clear future on the island. We don't have enough subject choices, especially for older students. If you're not into the basics, you're out of luck. No proper tech programs, very few arts or vocational options. There's also the issue of transport. Some children walk long distances to get to school, and there aren't enough buses or safe roads. Let's not forget about technology. During the pandemic, many kids didn't have tablets or reliable internet. The gap made things worse, and it still exists today. It's unfair and it's setting us back. And while most people don't talk about it, there's also a need for support for students with special needs. Right now, there just aren't enough trained teachers or resources to help them strive. What we can do together. But I don't just want to talk about the problems. I believe there are real practical ways we can make education in Barbuda better. It starts with believing that we deserve more and fighting for it. Strong school buildings that can stand up to storms and feel like places of hope and safety, better pay and housing for teachers so they stay and become part of our community, more subjects and programs like marine biology, ecotourism, carpentry, IT, and music. That actually connects to our lives and talents. Laptops and free Wi-Fi for every student because no child should be left behind in this digital age. School bus, school buses and safe roads so every child can show up ready to learn. Mental health support, special education training and mentorship programs for kids who need extra care. Community involvement, parents, elders, and local businesses supporting students however they can. Partnership with other islands and international schools to bring in fresh ideas and resources. And most of all, we need to create reasons for our youths to stay. That means building career opportunities here at home so that our brightest minds don't always feel they have to leave Barbuda to succeed. A hopeful vision. Barbuda can have an education system that's strong, inclusive, and future ready. But we can't wait for someone else to fix it. It starts with us. Speaking up, showing up, and never giving up on our children. They deserve better, and so does Barbuda. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Deputy Chair, and I do agree. I recognize Ms. Zawadi Weber, Councilman.
Here are two key problems and potential solutions. Number one, infrastructure and environmental vulnerability. Barbuda's education infrastructure remains fragile due to the devastation caused by Hurricane Irma in 2017. The primary school has not been fully repaired. Additionally, many homes and schools lack basic utilities like running water and electricity. And one way to fix that would be to implement climate-resilient infrastructure, projects that prioritize the rebuilding of schools with durable materials and sustainable energy sources. This includes installing solar panels, rainwater harvesting systems, and ensuring that buildings can withstand future natural disasters. Issue number two. There is a shortage of trained teachers. Barbuda faces a shortage of qualified teachers, particularly in specialized subjects like mathematics. This shortage is compounded by global trends of teacher migration and inadequate compensation and professional development opportunities. A solution would be to attract and retain qualified teachers by offering competitive salaries, housing allowances, professional development programs, utilize technology to bridge the gap by implementing virtual classrooms where experienced educators from Antigua and or all around the globe can teach Barbudan students. Additionally, create mentorship programs that pair new teachers with experienced ones in order to provide support and guidance.
Thank you, Councilman. I recognize Councilwoman Condoleezza Daniel.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for acknowledging me. My name is Condoleezza Daniel, an 11-year-old student of the Holy Trinity Primary School, and I believe Antigua and Barbuda education system has seen real improvement in recent years. The government has invited school infrastructure, digital learning tools, and teacher training. Programs like Antigua and Barbuda Institute of Continuing Education and scholarships for tertiary studies are giving students more opportunities than ever before. Education is more accessible and literacy rates are high. While it's true there have been some advance, we must not ignore the serious challenges that remain. Many public schools still face overcrowded classrooms, outdated materials, and infrastructure support for students with special needs. Not all, not all students have equal access to technology, especially in rural areas. If we want to prepare our young people for a competitive global market, we need a more modern, inclusive, and funded system. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman. I recognize my favorite councilman, Jacob Harris. Good talk. Yeah, it worked. Good.
The problem with education here in Barbuda is how teachers fail to teach students in a proper manner and the behavior they have towards students. Some students are visual learners, while some are interactive learners. If a teacher doesn't know how to teach both ways, the students will not understand better. They wouldn't understand to their best of their abilities. Favoritism is a big issue when it comes to teachers and students. Children who are not receiving the same attention as others may feel depressed. To fix this, experienced teachers should be hired or brought in, and all teachers should treat each child with equal love and attention.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Councilman. You see why he's my favorite, yes. I recognize Councilwoman Alexandra D'Souza.
Thank you, Chairman, for acknowledging me. A big problem nowadays in the school industry is professionalism. This is why teachers are now socializing with students as if they are their friends. And you would think that they would know this because the older generation would say, "Me and you na size." And students would take it upon themselves and they would behave the same way towards other teachers, teachers that have professionalism. Some of them do not accept that behavior. And when they are corrected, they like to say, "Oh, she not like me because she not want to talk to me." And that is just crazy. So nowadays, I feel like we need more trained teachers, professional teachers. So we could have extracurricular lessons for teachers.
Benicio Butler.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for acknowledging me.
I rise today as both a council member and someone living within the very system and island we are here to discuss, Barbuda. My home and my heart. And it is because of the love that I have for these people that is why I am speaking out. We are being let down, and today I bring forward 3 critical issues in our education system. One being the lack of Barbudan culture and history in the curriculum. The absence of sexual and reproductive health education. And last but not least, the fact that we are treating our slow or hands-on learners as if they have no capabilities or as if they are not intelligent. Firstly, there is a painful lack of Barbudan culture, history, and identity in our curriculum. We spend hours learning about European heroes and this and that and third the other. What about our Barbudan heroes? We must learn about our ancestors. Our culture is being left out and unspoken. What does it say when the children can name European kings but not Barbudan heroes? When we know more about world wars than we do about our own struggles and triumph of our own ancestors, we must embed Barbudan history and culture into our curriculum now. And I propose that we partner with local elders, cultural leaders, and educators to create lesson plans that celebrate our culture and our ethnicity. Let us give the students pride of knowing exactly where they come from. Next, I speak on an issue too long ignored: the sexual and reproductive health education. There is no proper guidance, no structured support, and no safe space for students to learn and ask questions. Are we really protecting our children by keeping them in the dark, or are we setting them up to make uninformed, dangerous decisions? We need comprehensive, age-appropriate sexual and reproductive health education. I will work with local professionals to host workshops that speak truthfully and respectfully to our youth. This is not about controversy. That is what I can assure you. It is about safety, self-awareness, and dignity, something that all of our youth and adults should have. And finally, to the students who struggle quietly in classrooms built for one-type learners, the hands-on, practical thinkers who are left out to feel like they're not enough, I see you. I learn beside you. How long will we keep failing them before we realize that intelligence comes in many different forms? We need a vocational school here in Barbuda, a space where skills like carpentry, culinary arts, agriculture, mechanics, and much more are celebrated, not as a last resort, mind you, but as a path to success. These students don't lack intelligence, and I will reiterate, we do not lack intelligence, but we lack the opportunity, and I, Janasia Malia Christiana Butler, will fight to make sure that opportunity is real for us. Mr. Chairman, fellow council members, these aren't just ideas. They are calls for action. And I stand here today not just asking, but insisting that we do better. Not later, but now. Because to accept nothing is to accept failure. And I will not accept failure, nor for myself, my peers, nor for the future of Barbuda. I thank you.
Thank you, MP. I recognize
Morning, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for acknowledging me. Thank you for acknowledging me. Today, I'm here to advocate on the improving of education with more hands-on learning, better classroom conditions, including fans and ACs, and guidance for career-based subject selections. This is all I have on this matter.
All right, thank you. Recognize Councilwoman Elena Ambrose.
Chairman, for acknowledging me. I, Elena Ambrose, and today I stand to speak on a topic that matters deeply to us: the improvement of education in Barbuda. Education is the key that opens doors, but in Barbuda, our key is rusty, but not broken. It needs sharpening, because we, the youth, have ideas. Let's face it, we're living in a digital world, yet many students in Barbuda are facing challenges with technology. Many of our teachers work hard, but there are not enough of them. We need more teachers involved in training opportunities and not sit down and relax. Teachers that come from Antigua need better houses and bonuses that can help them involved in helping our youths become better. Programs to train Barbadian youth to become teacher is a great idea for our future. Too often, decisions are made without us. Where are our inputs in youth? Where is it? We don't have any ideas. We don't have any voice. We need a louder voice in the community. We need a student council with real power and a feedback system where our island's idea matter. Let's give us our youths a seat at the table because we live in the system every day. In closing, education in Barbuda doesn't need to be perfect. It needs to be empowered with us, not without us. And also, as we sit here today, as you can see, look around Barbuda, our young men are turning to marijuana, vapes, alcohol, and many more, as you can think. We need better tools, strong teachers, safer schools, not security that sit down and relax. A louder youth voice can work, and I can tell you that. The future belongs to us. Why not shape the path we Barbudans will walk? I thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Councilwoman. I recognize Councilwoman Elliott.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for acknowledging me. An issue we have in our education is that teachers leave out our slow learners. They have potential, and we need to train teachers to help them, to better them, because they can do more wonderful things if they had the support. We need to provide more hands-on learning in the curriculum. It's not always about reading and writing and the number subjects. It's about practical learning. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Right. Thank you. Okay, let me see the notes that we have here. So, essentially, the issues that we've brought forward are limited tools, not many equipments, not enough subject choices, need of support for special need kids, mental health kids, more transportation, because we only have one bus, correct, councillors? Okay. Shortage of trained teachers, lack of space in classrooms, teachers showing favoritism, and need better classroom conditions. Councillors, I have listened to you, and I understand the plights. And as Finance Committee Chair, I think it is imperative of me. I'll work along with Ms. Benjamin, and these are the solutions that we can posit, and then we can put to a vote afterwards. But however, before I go on with that, I think it's also imperative while we're on education to recognize that today is Teachers Appreciation Day. So I want everybody to give a round of applause for the teachers that we have. I would like to recognize Ms. Jamil Griot and Ms. Kariana Baltimore. They've helped us out a lot, so I want to give them a special round of applause again. We understand that teachers are the backbone, and teaching is probably the most important profession because it teaches all other professions. And what you've seen here so far, what we've discussed, has come as a result of proper teaching. However, there are issues and there are a lack of unity. One of the main things I would have noticed, that I would have understood and hear from you, there is a lack of communication between Antigua and Barbuda when it comes to education. For example, we heard about the news, MP, that we're amalgamating the State College, the Abyss, and the ABHTI into the Antigua Barbuda campus college. However, one thing I didn't hear, MP, is how they plan to integrate that for Barbudans. Is it going to be an online modality for Barbudans? Even with the UE, I think that there's not enough is done with UE here. I don't think that we are really given the proper consideration. For example, and I think it was Miss Mitchell James Francis, she did her teacher training online 100% here, and she ended up becoming valedictorian. Why hasn't there not been more options for that for more Barbudans here? Why do you have to leave from Barbuda to go over in this technological age? So I think, MP, we need to posit the first issue that we put, you can put it down, Secretary, the first issue that we can put is we need to have communications with the Ministry of Education and the heads of the State College, the Abbott and the ABHTI, in order to hear that our voice is on the table, because I am very sure that it was just announced and we haven't heard how that would benefit Barbudan students. So that's the first thing. The second issue I have also is there has been a National Student Council that has been enacted for about 3 months. However, councillors, are any of you here a part of the National Student Council? So how can it be national if Barbuda is not there? And that's a problem that we have a lot of times, where you have these things say Antigua and Barbuda or national, and then it's just like if Barbuda is not a part of it. So we'll also, Miss Madam Secretary, you can write down, we'll posit a letter to the president of the National Student Council to ask why there is not a Barbudan voice there, because it is needed, because they cannot be making decisions based off of students there and we don't have a seat at the table. So we will also put that down. As for the transportation of buses, I think we can also reach out, and I think Minister of Works, Mr. Harris, I'll put your committee up to this, to reach out to the Ministry of Works over Antigua to tell Transport that we need more than one bus. I don't think it's okay to just have one bus for both primary and secondary schools. Aren't you tired catching the bus with people from Chesney? Exactly. So I would put it to a vote that for this resolution, for this motion of education, that we will, one, posit a letter to the ABC and the heads of the Amalgamated College. Two, also we will pose a letter to the National Student Council, and Chairman Harris will pose a letter to Transport Board asking for additional bus, and MP, I'll also give you the additional one of when you go to Parliament to debate, to advocate for better technology in Barbuda. I heard that there was supposed to be more ACs. Has ACs been posited in Barbuda yet? Okay, so I will put you to the task that when you go over to represent us, that you put that. So all in favor of these being the solutions to this education issue, say aye. Aye. All against? Okay, so I think we can move on from education to our next topic. Secretary, the next topic is going to be sports and youth affairs. So I will recognize the chairman for that committee to get the ball rolling on this issue. I recognize Ms. Elliott.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for acknowledging me. Sports, one of the main talents we have here in Barbuda. Sports is very important for overall development of young people. It's far beyond physical fitness. It teaches us discipline, teamwork, and cooperation. But our sports are not as developed as we would like it to be. Antigua thrives on tourism, so why don't we be famous for something too? Why not be known for our extraordinary athletes? We have a lot of up-and-coming athletes, so let's make it into a paid profession. I mean, who wouldn't want that? I would. There are only sports for males. What about our females? I know of females that want to be on the basketball team, football team, and we're leaving them out. We don't have a sports team without training. We need to bring in trained coaches to teach our young people different sports and raise funds to buy proper and better equipment. We don't have accommodations for our big careers, so we let our good talent go to waste, and I, for one, won't stand by it. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Recognize Senator Williams. He's just itching to speak. Go right ahead.
Thank you for acknowledging me, Mr. Chairman. As a person who travels between Antigua and Barbuda for sports often, I have noticed that we do not have many trained and professional coaches. Also, the sporting facilities needs major upgrades. For example, when Drew start fall down by basketball court, when you know you're playing, when you look, you're at first you start at one end of the court, you look at the other end, and that's a big problem for our safety. And that is a big problem for our safety. Also, we have lack of equipment, and the equipment that we do have, it is a problem to get them when we need them. So I think that the youth council should invest in equipment so the students could have equipment to practice, to use for physical education, and play and learn. To wrap up, we need better sports and sporting equipment in our island.
Thank you, Senator. I recognize Councilman J. Coy Harris.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for acknowledging me. As a grade 6 student at Hoy Trinity Primary School, there are very limited sport options outside of PE. I can only play cricket or football, but I would also love to play basketball or tennis. Additionally, the school grounds are uneven, which can cause injuries like twist ankles. To address these issues, the school needs to be upgraded with better playing fields and the resources needed to support a wider variety of sports.
Thank you, Councilman. I recognize Deputy Chair Kadali Joseph.
Mr. Chairman, for acknowledging me. How to improve sports in Barbuda? Bringing back the heart of sports in Barbuda. Growing up in Barbuda, some of my best memories were made on the field, barefoot on the grass, using makeshift goals, playing until the sun went down. But today, I look around and feel a deep sadness. Sports, which once brought our community together and gave our youth something to believe in, is struggling. The struggles we face. Our kids want to play. You can see it in their eyes, but the spaces they have to play in are broken or missing altogether. After Hurricane Irma, a lot of what we had was destroyed, and even now, some fields are overgrown or full of holes. Our basketball courts have cracked concrete and rusted hoops. There's no proper gym, no running track, and when it rains, just forget about it. Training is cancelled. We don't have enough equipment either. One basketball shared among 10 boys, football jerseys that don't fit, if we have them at all. No cones, no nets, no proper shoes, and without those basics, how can we expect to build serious athletes? But maybe the biggest thing we're missing is structure. There are few coaches here full-time. We don't have regular training, no leagues, and hardly any chances to compete off-island. Children get excited about sports, but when there's no one guiding them, they lose motivation. The talent is there. I see it, but the support system just isn't. And when we do have a match or a training session, we're often pulling money out of our own pockets just to buy water, transport kids, or get a first aid kit. Funding is almost non-existent. We've been doing the best we can with what we have, but it's not enough. What we can do together. But I haven't lost hope. In fact, I believe we're standing on the edge of something great. If we really want to see sports thrive again in Barbuda, here's what I think we need to do and what we can do. Fix up our facilities. Not just patch them up, but invest in strong, hurricane-ready spaces where kids can play, rain or shine. Get proper gear through donations, government funding, or even community fundraisers. We can get balls, uniforms, and safety equipment for all sports. Train local coaches, young adults here who already love the game just need the right training. We could send them to coaching courses or bring trainers to Barbuda. Start real leagues, football, basketball, netball, and cricket. Let's organize tournaments. If we can organize fishing tournament, why can't we organize tournament for sports? Get children competing regularly and give them something to aim for. Involve the community. Parents, elders, and former athletes can help run events, cheer from the sidelines, or even mentor players. Push for funding and partnerships. We can't do it alone. Let's reach out to the Ministry of Sports, NGOs, and even sport brands to support us. Why it matters. This is about more than just scoring goals or winning medals. It's about keeping our youths inspired, healthy, and focused. It's about building pride in our community. Sports teaches discipline, teamwork, and resilience. The same things our kids need to build a better Barbuda. Imagine a little boy kicking a ball and dreaming of playing for Antigua and Barbuda national team. Imagine a young girl training every afternoon because she believes she could go to college on a sports scholarship. We can make that possible, but only if we act. Let's not wait for the perfect moment. Let's start now. together for our children, for our future, for Barbuda.
Thank you, Deputy Chair. I recognize Councilwoman Savannah Benjamin.
Good day, Mr. Chairman. My name is Savannah Benjamin once again. I'm passionate about helping young people in Barbuda not just grow, not just in the classroom, but through sports as well. I believe that sports is an important part of education and life. They help us stay healthy, build confidence, learn teamwork, and stay out of trouble. But right now, Barbuda doesn't have enough sporting opportunities for children and teenagers. Here are some challenges that I see. Not enough equipment like bars, uniform, or even training gear. Limited access to coaches or organized teams. Some fields or courts are in poor condition. Here are my ideas to help sports in Barbuda. Organize more community sports programs. Organize more community sports programs and clubs for football, cricket, we even do netball. Fix up and upgrade our playing fields and courts so we can practice safely and proudly. One time, yeah, me dey go down. Sorry. For instance, if we are playing football at the cricket field, we cannot see when we look. You're in Malata. Me even know me there. Some feel organize more community sports programs and clubs for football, cricket, netball, and even track and field. Fix up and upgrade our playing fields and courts so we can practice safely and proudly. Invite coaches or volunteers from the community, even if it's just for a few hours, even a week, to help train and guide young athletes. Then we can come about these changes by asking for help. By asking for help, train and guide young athletes, so we can come about these changes by asking for help from sports organizations, reaching out to donors, and even hosting local fundraisers like Sports Day or even friendly matches. Mr. Chairman, I will speak up for sports in Barbuda because I believe every child deserves a right to complete and shine. Thank you for your time and supporting the dreams of young people like me.
Thank you, Councilman. I recognize Councilwoman Zawadi Weber.
Thank you, Chairman, for acknowledging me. Sports in Barbuda faces many issues that aren't even trying to be fixed. For example, infrastructure in sports has been damaged for years and there isn't even an effort to fix them or make a difference. The basketball court has been damaged. If rain falls, it's slippery and wet, so don't even think about going there to practice. Many of our students in Barbuda want to go off and play sports. Why can't they play it here? There isn't a proper sports program over here for students to practice or learn and stay here and play sports professionally. All the little talent that we do have go off to other countries to represent them and not us. That's it.
Thank you. Right. I recognize Councilwoman D'Souza.
Thank you, Chairman, for acknowledging me. First off, don't y'all recognize sports in Barbuda is very limited, leading to only two. Either play basketball or play football. No. Track. That's it. This is because there are no coaches to teach other sports, and also there are no equipment at hand. This can be resolved by recruiting new coaches to teach different sports and acquiring the appropriate equipment needed for each sport.
Thank you, Councilman. I recognize Representative Butler.
Day once again, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for acknowledging me. As both a student and a council member, I speak from experience when I speak about how important sports are for the growth and well-being of our youth. Yet right now, our young people face challenges that hold them back, and I wonder why. Let me state three key issues and their solutions clearly. First and foremost, the lack of proper sports facilities. How can we expect our young people to develop their talents without proper places to play? Many don't have access to safe, well-maintained fields or courts. Sports spaces are not luxuries, they are essential. So I suggest those in charge stop acting like it's luxury. We must commit to building and maintaining accessible sports facilities across Barbuda so every child has a safe place to play, train, and learn. Secondly, limited access to necessary sports equipment. Even when facilities do exist, how can a young athlete succeed without the right equipment? Balls, uniforms, and protective gear are basic needs. By creating a community sports equipment fund, we can ensure no child misses out on the chance to participate simply because they lack gear. Thirdly, no consistent or youth development programs. Without trained coaches or organized programs, how can our young athletes reach their full potential without such necessities? Talent alone is not enough. It must be nurtured. Training local coaches and establishing youth sports programs will provide the mentorship and structure needed to help young athletes learn, succeed, and grow. Sports build discipline, teamwork, and confidence. They teach lessons that going to school alone cannot teach you. So I ask you, if not us, who will create these opportunities? And if not now, when? Let me leave you with something to think about. There's an association called the Antigua and Barbuda Basketball Association. But tell me when and where do you see Barbudans being represented? The association is both for Barbudan and Antiguan. So tell me why I can't see my fellow Barbudan peers going over or maybe just staying right here and representing both Antigua and Barbuda. Yet you're saying this association is both for us and Antigua? I thank you.
Recognize the Tourism and Culture Committee Chair, Councilwoman Condoleezza Daniel.
Sports in Antigua and Barbuda plays a vital role in the national pride, youth development, and health living. Cricket legends like Sir Vivian Richards have put Antigua and Barbuda on the world map, and countries continues to produce talent athletes, track and field, football and netball. The government and private sector have insisted in sporting infrastructure like the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium and community sports programs. These efforts create opportunities of youth and promote national unity. I agree that sports is important, but the reality is not enough is being done. Many community fields and courts are poorly maintained. Young athletes often lack access to proper coaching, equipment, and international exposure. The focus talents to be cricket, while other sports are underfunded and ignored. These talents in this country, but without consistent investment and support, it goes to waste. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Councilwoman. I recognize Councilwoman Ambrose.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for acknowledging me. I believe that sports in Barbuda can and must be improved, not just for fun, but for the future of our island. Many of our playing fields and courts are worn out, unsafe, or even unusable. If we want strong athletes, we need strong places to train. with equipment, working, safe services, and clean spaces. We have talent, but talent needs guidance. With trained coaches and mentorship, our youth can grow, get scholarship, or even go pro. What's the point in training if there are no games? We need more competition in island or off island. This builds skills, confidence, and community pride where sports aren't just played. Sports teaches discipline, unity, and ambition. Without training, our youths are empty. Implement different sports choices so we can take part. What you mean, Bobby, the car in a nothing? We not nobody. Track and field, basketball, football, netball, and tennis. In let's fix our field, find great coaches, and give Barbudan youth the chance to shine, not just locally, but globally. I thank you.
Thank you. So I think everybody has had a chance to give their feedback, and based on what the secretary just showed me, our issues currently are need more opportunities for females in sports, need more trained coaches, lack of equipment, limited sports options, not enough sporting spaces, lack of funding, and organize more community sports days, and needs of proper sporting program. Councillors, I will say this to you. As I sit before you, a lot of these issues have been here from time I was a child, and me and Sister Gloria see us our age, so that's like 60-something years ago. Right now, we still have it here. You guys are here, and we still have these issues. And I think it is imperative for us to speak to the people of Barbuda. We're currently hearing that Barbuda needs to develop. We're currently hearing development, but development is only coming in the form of land, it seems. However, sports is an area of development. We cannot just sit here and say that we're going to develop, and we're not going to develop the actual sports opportunities. Look at, for example, St. Lucia. Julian Alfred won the Olympic gold medals in the 100 meters, and you know how much tourism and how much opportunity that brought to St. Lucia. Look at, for example, Kim Collins back in 2003. I know many of y'all weren't even taught then, but he brought so much to St. Lucia, to St. Kitts. Back in the day, we used to have, I'm giving you a little bit of a history lesson, we used to have a great runner that if he was given the right opportunities and the right training, that he would reach far. I'm talking about Maverick Weatherhead. Maverick went away for Carifta and went away and won a lot of medals in the 800 meters. However, he fell victim to the simple, what I call Barbuda syndrome. We've had Razim Richards, we've had a lot of other people. We have some successes. We have Kevin Samuel, he's currently overseas playing professionally in France. But he had to leave here. Yes, we can give a round of applause as well. We have a lot of Barbudans that have a lot of talent. However, the talent isn't being nurtured because sometimes we focus as Barbudans on the wrong thing. If it is not about land, then we're not really focusing on it, and that should not be. And I think that let's get to the solutions based on what we have here. I am positing the idea that we work in tandem because I want to also say we do have some Barbudans that are trying. For example, I have to call him Jermaine, this was a Smurf. He has the Saving Grace program. I saw him yesterday along with Mr. Michi, and he was down there, and he was like, yeah, boy, kick the ball, and the boy, he's trying. He is trying. We have also Mr. Peter Coffey, who's been working along with the track and field at least for many years. However, Barbudans, I'm going to speak to our band before we get to the solutions. We need to help them. We have businesses over there that make a lot of money, and y'all are not investing inside the sports. Yes, this is one thing to build up a next condominium and all that stuff and put money together for Caribbean and Carnival, but what our youths are not just the future, they are currently here. So I am positing the idea for the council that this summer we plan a summer student athlete forum, where in this student athlete forum we can probably invite the other successful Barbudans to join us via Zoom or virtually to teach the prospective students that want to be student athletes. For example, St. Williams and the basketball team, they also went away, they placed third, they do very well. But I think we need to have a balance, teach them the balance of sports and education, because sports can be your guideline to education, gets you a free education, so your parents don't have to pay all that money for tuition because it's expensive. So I'm positing that we work along with Mr. Jermaine D'Souza and other Barbudan stakeholders to plan in summer a student athlete forum where we can teach Barbudans how to be student and athletes. That's the first issue. The second issue, and Representative, I'm putting this to you along with Ms. Elliott, is we're going to reach out to the various associations, Antigua and Barbuda football, cricket, basketball associations. They have Antigua and Barbuda in the name. They should be able to provide us with some sort of funding to help us to get out here, because most of the leagues we have here is just Barbadians coming together with their money and doing something. We need to have more funding so we can have the proper equipment. And when this association is already started back fully, we need to have a place where students can have the equipment readily available. So I'm positing those two to a vote for the council. All those in favor of, and I'll read them again, reaching out to the associations of the basketball, cricket, football, netball associations, and reaching out to the stakeholders in Barbuda to plan a summer student athlete forum. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those against? Okay, the ayes have it. Our third topic is going to be an interesting one. And Rep, I'm going to have you started. We are going to be speaking about how we can increase the unity between Antigua and Barbuda, because currently I feel like if we have a lot of issues, and I want to know how we, the youth, if you have any ideas on how to fix that. So go ahead, MP.
Hello. Hi. Mr. Chairman, fellow council members, and audience. As a young, proud Antiguan and Barbudan, I'm speaking from a distance, and I'm not just talking about distance in miles. I'm speaking about distance created by ancient rivalry that just won't go to rest. I'm speaking about the tension caused by that ancient rivalry. Now, why are we letting old stories get between of us in this 21st century? Tell me. Now, I live within this divide, eh? And I've seen firsthand how much work we truly have to do if we want the two sister islands to be together in unity. The three major issues affecting our unity between Antigua and Barbuda are as follows. Firstly, historical mistrust, which has grown from disagreements over governance and disaster recovery, especially after Hurricane Irma. To rebuild trust, there must be consistent communication and mutual respect from both leaders on both islands. Instead of talking about us, how about you try talking to us? We have voices and opinions that need to be heard also. Secondly, Barbuda has been far too long underdeveloped compared to Antigua. Roads, schools, and our hospitals are left unfunded. You mean for tell me, I go till to Guyana, spend how much odd years, then come back to see Abna Babna ABC street lights? Oh my God! Let's not even talk about the muddy roads. Oh Lord. By the time I take 1 step, 2 step, 3 step, 4, my shoe bottom full of mud. As a student who sometimes has to walk to and from school, I can assure you that when I reach in school, I carry in mud from where I live till in the school compound. Opportunities for Barbudans to put in their 2 cents, greater investment in Barbuda's infrastructure, and the fair distribution of the national resources are what we need to do to implement unity between Antigua and Barbuda. Lastly speaking, many young people from Antigua have never set foot in Barbuda. Vice versa. I believe that we need to introduce inter-island youth exchange programs, cultural festivals, and joint projects from schools across Antigua and Barbuda. Unity is not automatic, so please do not expect it to appear out of the blue. It requires effort, equality, empathy. And listen carefully to me when I say this. We ain't begging for little togetherness or sympathy. We are simply here to let you know that in this 21st century, we ain't accepting bare minimum. It can no longer be accepted. Let's work together to become one nation, not just in law, but also in your heart, as I know each and every one of you have. I thank you.
All right. Thank you, Rep. I recognize Deputy Chair Kadalia Joseph.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for acknowledging me. Strengthening unity between Antigua and Barbuda. One nation, but still divided. I was born in Antigua but raised in Barbuda. Barbuda is the only home I've ever known. The sound of sea, the strength of our people, the land that we protect like family. But as much as I love this island, I've grown up with a question in my heart. Are we really one nation? We're called Antigua and Barbuda, but many days it feels like we're Barbuda in Antigua's shadow. The pain we feel. When decisions are made in Parliament, we often hear about them after they've already been decided, are rarely where we consulted. When funding comes in for development or recovery, Antigua gets most of it, and Barbuda waits, sometimes for months, sometimes don't even look for it because it now gets home. I remember after Hurricane Irma, we lost everything. Our homes, our schools, our memories. And yes, help came, but slowly, and often with strings attached. Some of us felt like we were being told how to rebuild, not asked what we need. People say we're stubborn, that we resist change, but here's the truth. We're not against progress. We just want to be part of the conversation. We want change that respects our culture, our land, and our voice. The divide we see. Barbudans often feel looked down on, like we're behind or less than. And I know many Antiguans don't mean it that way, but it hurts. We hear the jokes, we see the headlines, and when we visit Antigua, we feel the difference. In the roads, the schools, the hospital, and the way we're treated. And Antiguans have their side too. Some feel like Barbuda is always pushing back, always complaining. They ask, why can't Barbuda just fall in line? But if we fall in line without respect, then what are we really uniting under? What I wish for us. I'm not writing this to point fingers. I'm writing this because I believe we can do better. And because I love both islands, I want my children to grow up feeling proud to be Barbudan and proud to be Antiguan Barbudan. I want them to see both names as equal, not just on paper, but in real life. Here's how I believe we can get there. Talk to each other, not about each other. More town halls, more student exchanges, more real conversations where we listen with open hearts. Give Barbuda the respect of a partner, not a dependent. Support our rights to manage our land, our development, our community with national support, not control. Share the spotlight. Our heroes, our festivals, our voices deserve to be seen and heard in national spaces just as much as Antigua's. Invest in both islands equally, whether it's roads, schools, or opportunities. Unity means fairness. Celebrate what makes us different and what makes us one. Our culture may not be the same, but our dreams for our people are. Hope from the heart. I believe in Antigua and Barbuda. I believe we can be one nation, not just legally, but emotionally. Not just at independence parades, but in the way we treat each other, speak to each other, and build this country together. We are two islands, but we share one future, and we'll only get there if we start walking side by side. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Chair. I recognize Councilwoman Daniel.
Mr. Chairman, I thank you for acknowledging me. Today, I will dive into a topic that lies at the heart of our nation's identity: the unity between island state, Antigua and Barbuda, through joint constitution and flag. The reality of unity between the two islands is often questioned. Is it only symbols, or is it a powerful force of progress? I stand firmly on the side that unity is not only essential, but vital for sustainable development, cultural preservation, and global standing of our beloved nation. Firstly, shared resources strengthen national development. Unity between Antigua and Barbuda enables pooling and strategic use of resources. Antigua, with its greater infrastructure and population, can support Barbuda in areas like healthcare, education, and transport. In return, Barbuda contribute with its untapped natural beauty, fishing industry, and ecotourism potential. When both islands work together, they can complement each other economically instead of operating in isolation or competition. Secondly, cultural unity promotes national identity. Antigua and Barbuda each have unique cultural expressions, but unity allows for a border rich nation identity. Celebrating only Antigua and Barbudan tradition encourages mutual respect and pride. Cultural events and shared heritage, education, and inter-island exchanges strengthen the bond between citizens and ensure that the community doesn't feel forgotten or left behind. A united Antigua and Barbuda presents a stronger front on the global stage, whether negotiating trade, responding to climate change, or advocating international forums. Unity gives the country more leverage and credibility. Internally, it encourages balanced governance and nation policies that considers the needs of both islands, reinforcing fairness and reducing tension. In conclusion, unity between Antigua and Barbuda is far more symbolic. It is a necessary pillar for national progress. It allows us to share resources efficiently, celebrate a common identity, and project and strengthen as one voice in the eternal arena. International arena, sorry. Let us not be divided by distance, but strengthened by our shared destiny. I thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. I recognize Councilwoman Savannah Benjamin.
Good day once again, Mr. Chairman. I believe it is time for us young people to help bring Antigua and Barbuda closer together. Even though we live on two separate islands, we are one nation. One unity between us is very important, not just for now, but for the future. Right now, I believe there is still a gap between Antigua and Barbuda. Sometimes we don't know each other well or feel like we're being mistreated. Here are some ideas I have for building a stronger unity. Start youth exchange programs where students from Barbuda and Antigua can visit each other's schools and communities. Host fun joint events like youth festivals, sports days, or even camps where we can go and bond and learn from each other. Create online spaces where young people from both islands can talk, share ideas, and even work on projects together. We can come about these changes by asking for support from leaders, working with schools, and planning events that include islands equally. Mr. Chairman, I will speak up for unity because when Antigua and Barbuda stand together, our nation grows stronger for everyone. Thank you for listening to me.
Thank you, Councilwoman Benjamin. I recognize Councilwoman Jenny Elliott.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for acknowledging me. Strengthening unity between Antigua and Barbuda. Antigua and Barbuda are one, but we often get left behind. Barbuda is currently not as developed as our sister island, and investments would go a long way to help improve sports, health, education, environmental wellness, and wildlife protection and preservation. We need to have regular communication and plan together for the sake of our community how we can grow. And of course, unity of the youths is very important, to learn about each other's unique and diverse cultures. Youths between both islands need to come together in fun-filled activities and learn more about each other. And don't leave out the smaller kids too.
Thank you, Councilman. I recognize Councilwoman D'Souza.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for acknowledging me. Fostering unity in Antigua and Barbuda. Fostering unity between both islands requires a thoughtful approach that addresses historical tensions, promotes mutual respect, and makes shared opportunities. First off, we need to acknowledge and respect historical differences. Barbuda is a different identity, history, and unique heritage. We're not like Antigua and will never be the same. Unity does not mean sameness, it means mutual respect. Some strategies for this issue are promoting cultural exchange programs between schools on both islands and celebrate local events with national support. Number two, equitable development and investment. This matters because a sense of underrepresentation in Barbuda, especially after events like Hurricane Irma, it has deepened distrust in us. Development must be inclusive and transparent. We can resolve this issue by ensuring fair distribution of national resources, especially for healthcare, infrastructure, and education in Barbuda. We can also invest in eco-friendly and sustainable projects that preserves Barbuda's environment and benefits the local communities. Number three, transparent governance and communication. This matters because tensions can arise when decisions about Barbuda are made without adequate local input. Some strategies are to hold regular public forums involving leaders from both islands to discuss joint issues, use social media platforms to foster transparent communication and correct miscommunication. This matter, wait, oh, number four, shared national project and symbols. This matters because national pride and unity grows when people work toward common goals. We can resolve this issue by highlighting shared success in areas like tourism, music, and sports. We can design public campaigns and art projects that showcase our culture of Antigua and Barbuda. And
Thank you, Councilman D'Souza. I recognize Councilman Weber. Hmm? Hmm. Okay. All right, so in the meantime, sorry, Councilman Weber, we'll call on Councilman Ambrose.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. How do we foster unity between Antigua and Barbuda? I believe that true unity between Antigua and Barbuda is possible, but it starts with respect, fairness, and connection. Unity doesn't mean being the same, it means honoring differences. We must respect Barbuda's unique culture and voice, make sure both islands are treated as equals in our national history story. How is Antigua and Barbuda? But when it comes to Barbuda, we are being left out. We need to be united, not divided. For example, inter-school track and field. Lord help me. Breakfast was always late. When lunch not come, cold, dinner come for lunch. Where in the world that can happen? So we feel left for starve. When I tell you the food is bad, it's directly bad. I'm not lying. My empty stomach for performing will not be how I expect. The lack of earliness with the availability of the bus is always late. I'm not telling you. The lack of earliness. When I said that the bus driver forgot us, we were like stuck at Yasco after 12 in the night. How that can happen in Barbuda? Let's not talk about being judged, talk about and laughed at. Barbudans again, Barbudans. As a student athlete, being judged by older folks about poor performances says a lot. Let's bring the youth of Antigua and Barbuda together through sports, debates, school exchanges, and projects. When young people team up, they build understandings, not walls. In this Barbuda, fair access to resources, education, and healthcare, and much more.
Decisions should be made with Barbudans, not just for them. That's how trust grows. Unity isn't just a word, it's an action. In closing, let's build together. Barbuda, play together and lead together. Antigua and Barbuda can be stronger, not apart, but as one nation. I thank you.
All right, thank you, Councilman Ambrose. I recognize Councilman Weber.
Fostering unity between Antigua and Barbuda is essential for the nation's cohesive development, while both islands share a common heritage. Historical, political, and infrastructural challenges have occasionally strained their relationship. Addressing these issues with targeted solutions can pave the way for a more unified future. Issue number 1, political division and governance discourses. Political differences have deepened divisions between Antigua and Barbuda. The aftermath of Hurricane Irma highlights in these rifts with perceptions of unequal support during recovery efforts, and additionally, the introduction of the Barbuda Council has been viewed by some as a source of anatomy. Establishing a federal governance model similar to that of St. Kitts and Nevis could provide Barbuda with greater autonomy while maintaining national unity. This approach would allow for tailored development strategies that address the unique needs of each island. Moreover,
Thank you, Councilman. I recognize Councilman Jacoy Harris.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for acknowledging me. Antigua and Barbuda is said to be one nation, but Antigua is being represented and given more. Let's take, for instance, the hospital. If I need urgent operation, why must I take a 17-minute plane ride or a 2-hour boat trip? Sorry. Just to get the proper equipment for operation. I could lose my life between that time frame. And that's why the same equipment shipped to Antigua should also be given to Barbuda. Both islands should achieve the same way and stop neglecting each other.
Thank you, council members. So let me just review the notes. Essentially, we are calling for unity between Antigua and Barbuda, changes to respect our needs, more student exchanges, and Antigua supporting Barbuda in healthcare, and early transportation between Barbudans. I will say this, as we're kind of pressed for time, so I will keep my comments a bit brief. We need to have unity between Antigua and Barbuda, yes. However, if we Barbudans are divided, then we can't expect to go over to Antigua divided and expect us to have unity with Antigua. Many times in Barbuda, we're divided by a lot of different things, mainly politics. If you're not red, you're blue. If you're not blue, you're red, and that should not be. We currently see the issues here that has been dividing us so far, and at the end of the day, guess what? When Irma hit, all of us were Barbudans, all of us banding together. Irma has gone now 8 years, and we're right back to the whole party politics type thing that is dividing us. That is why we also have the issue. That's why they don't take us as seriously as they should, because we don't take ourselves seriously. You have one group out there writing articles for secession, and the next group out there silent. We are not together. We need to not have, my pastors always say, there's a difference between unity and uniformity. We have a lot of uniformity out here, but we're not unified from Barbudans. We Barbudans need to be unified first before we can go over to Antigua and expect us to have unity. However, there is some issues with how it is in Antigua. I've been in Antigua for the last 14 years. I had to go over there for education and different things, and it was a challenge. It is an issue. And I'm calling on you, representative, what we can do for a solution is we can entertain a meeting with the cabinet of Antigua and Barbuda, send them a letter on behalf, so Secretary, you can draft up that letter
on behalf of the Barbuda Council, asking for some meetings, asking for us to have a seat at the table so that we can have these issues. With the main issue with why we don't have unity councils, if we have to be truthful, is land. And I'm advocating on behalf of the Youth Barbuda Council that the land situation needs to come to an amicable solution. And we are proposing in this that Barbuda have proper zoning laws, so it's not just that we are going to be selling land for development, and development is only tourism and different things. But let's have proper zoning laws where, okay, you have this part for residential, this part for farming, this part, and let us make it public and we go forward from there. And I think if we do that, then Barbarians won't have an issue. But I think, Representative, that we need to speak to the central government in having them to explain what a lot of things is going on. Because as you said before, all we're hearing is they are telling us that this is what's happening in Barbuda and we don't know. No communication is coming, we're not aware. So all those in favor of reaching out to the central government to bring about a meeting to talk about unity, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those against? Okay, as we are pressed for time, the other issue would be the official formation of the Barbuda Youth Council, and after that we will speak about any other business. So for the official start of the Barbuda Youth Council, I will recognize the representative and then the deputy chair to speak, and we'll put it to a vote. All right, so Rep, you have the floor.
Thank you once again, Mr. Chairman, for acknowledging me. For far too long, the youths of Barbuda have not had a formal space to come together, share ideas, or advocate for ourselves. We've been left out of national conversations and decisions that directly affect our future. Might I add that our future is also the future of Barbuda. That's why the formation of the Barbuda Youth Council Association is not just important, but it is necessary. This council gives us a structured, united voice. It allows young people across Barbuda, from schools, churches, and youth groups, to come together, discuss the issues we face, and create solutions of our own. Community means we cease. It means we cease waiting to be invited to the table because we're building our own. As a result, we can let our voices be heard, plan and lead community projects, advocate for better education, mental health services, and other challenges and disadvantages that we, as Barbudans youth, face. And also empower the future leaders with skills in communication, leadership, and teamwork. We are no longer waiting for representation, because we've been waiting for years. It's the facts. We are going to create our own representation from this day on. And the most exciting part is, we're making history. This is a turning point, not just for Barbudan youth, but for every person island-wide. And guess what? We're just getting started. So sit back and enjoy. We will make a change.
Thank you, Rep. I recognize Deputy Chair Kadale Joseph.
Once again, thank you, Mr. Chairman, for acknowledging me. The importance of forming the Barbuda Youth Council Association. Here is why we need the Barbuda Youth Council. Growing up in Barbuda, we've always known that our island is special. We're not just surrounded by beauty. We're part of a tight-knit community with deep roots, strong culture, and a powerful sense of identity. But as young people, we sometimes feel like our voices aren't always heard, and our potential isn't always recognized. That's why forming the Barbuda Youth Council Association is so important. It's about us taking charge of our future. We are the future leaders, teachers, entrepreneurs, and protectors of Barbuda. If we don't step up and get involved now, who will? The Youth Council gives us a platform, a space where we can come together, speak up, and take real action on the things that matter to us. Whether it's improving education, preserving our environment, promoting mental health, or creating opportunities for skill training and jobs, we know the issue because we live them. And we deserve a seat at the table when decisions are being made. It builds us up. We all have dreams, talents, and ideas, but without the right support or guidance, it's easy to feel stuck or unheard. Through the Youth Council, we can learn leadership skills, grow our confidence, and work with mentors who truly care about helping us reach our goals. We get to inspire one another and uplift our peers. It keeps us connected. Too often, we see young people feeling disconnected, bored, or overlooked. A youth council brings us together. It gives us something to be proud of, a shared mission to build a better Barbuda, not just for ourselves, but for the next generation. It keeps us active, engaged, and grounded in who we are. It shows the world that we matter. When we stand united as a youth council, we send a powerful message, not just to our local leaders, but to the whole world. We're not waiting for change to come. We are the change. And by organizing ourselves, working together, and lifting each other up, we show that Barbuda's youth are ready to lead, ready to listen, and ready to act. In the end, this isn't just about forming another group. It's about creating a movement, a family, a voice, a vision. The Barbuda Youth Council Association is for every young people who wants to be seen, heard, and part of something meaningful. Let's build it together for us, for our island, for our future. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Chair. Let me just liaise with the Secretary. I know that Councillor Benjamin had some words to say, however, she is experiencing some difficulties. So basically, the Barbuda Youth Council Association, this is what we're doing here today. And this is a first sit-in to officially establish it. So I'm proposing to the council that we put to a vote that we meet on Saturday Saturday the 5th. Is that the 5th? No. Saturday the 7th, sorry, of June, where we will have a meeting to discuss the constitution of this association and if we are going to be partnering with the National Youth Parliament Association of Antigua and Barbuda in farming. All those in favor? All those against? Okay, we're at the part of any other business, any other issues that any councils want to raise. Okay, so I will go in order. I recognize our Works Committee Chairperson, J. Coy Harris. I know he had something to say on Works. So go right ahead, Mr. Harris. And we have a minute each, nothing too long.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for acknowledging me. As the head of Works and General Purposes, I would like to share my views to make Barbuda a better place. One major issue residents constantly raise is the poor condition of the roads. While we debate this topic, we must move beyond plans on paper and take action. The people of Barbuda deserve better. We may not currently have the funds to complete certain tasks, but I aim to change that by reaching out to investors and supporters. The slow pace of infrastructural repairs, the lack of funding, equipment, and materials has held back the Works Department. While Works has started on the main highway, attention must also be given to the neglected streets in Codrington. All roads matter to us.
Thank you, Councilman. Miss Ambrose, you have about, okay, Miss Ambrose, no. So Miss Butler, you have about a minute.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I had quite a lot to say because we have so much issues here in Barbuda, but I'll just outline two. We have no formal representation of youth leadership. But from my recent research, I gathered the following information. The National Student Council of Antigua and Barbuda's inaugural General Council meeting was held on January 14th of 2025 at the Multipurpose Cultural Center. Please do keep in mind that this is the National Student Council of Antigua and Barbuda. It brought together over 160 students. The first executive council was elected on January 11th of 2025. The elected executives are as follows. Tiaika Edwards as president from Clare Hall Secondary School, Carlique Tobias as vice president from Antigua Grammar School, and McQueen Theodore as general secretary from Princess Margaret School. Now you might be wondering why this information even matters. It's simple. From what I have seen, there was no student from Holy Trinity Primary or Sir McChesney George Secondary representing Barbuda. In other words, Barbuda was yet again left out. I propose establishing a guaranteed seat or representative position for Barbudan students on the National Youth Councils and student leadership bodies. This can be done by creating policy within the council's constitution that requires representatives from both Antigua and Barbuda, ensuring that at least one student from both Holy Trinity and Sir McChesney George is selected or elected. My second topic that I want to delve into, which is my last also, is mental health. And it's very prominent in Antigua and Barbuda. As a young advocate for mental health awareness, I see that it's only fit that I use this outlet to advocate for mental health. Hell, Barbudan youth are silently battling serious mental health struggles, from anxiety to stress, depression, and trauma linked to natural disasters like Hurricane Irma. Many of us have experienced loss, displacement, and instability. But we're expected to just keep going and go to school and do everything like it's fine. No, it is not fine. We are not okay. In addition to that, there's a stigma around speaking up around mental health. Some people still believe that if you're struggling with mental health, you're soft or you're too weak. But to those people, I think you should go do your research. We are not soft and we are not weak. We are real humans with feelings. And I suggest we start getting treated as if we are one.
Thank you, Representative. I recognize for our last contribution from Ms. Savannah Benjamin, Councilman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for acknowledging me. I also believe that we should form the official Barbuda Youth Council Association. This will give young people a real voice and a strong seat at the table. It will allow us to meet, share ideas, and take action on things that matter to us. This association can last for generations, stepping up to lead, guide, and take positive changes for our island. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Councilman Benjamin. We've heard all the issues, and I'll touch on them briefly. As for the works, yes, Mr. Harris, you have your work cut out for you for the Works Department, because I had to pick up some of my colleagues from National Youth Parliament Association, and I realized that the term that in Barbuda, we don't drive on the road, we drive on what's left of the road. And the roads are completely horrible. My shocks are probably done, and it's a rental car I have. As for we can't just focus on the main roads, yes. A lot of these other side roads do need attention, so I do hope that that is something that is dealt with. As for the mental health aspect of it in Barbuda, mental health is very important. I'll share with you a brief story. After Irma, it was crazy that they wanted you to go right back to school after a week. There was no time. How many of you actually had the chance to actually speak with a therapist or process what happened? I remember they were nice. My mom was crying. She's like, boy, she can't do this. She has to just go right back into a classroom. We don't focus on mental health properly. And even all now, years later, we're still affected. When Irma first hit, we were living down by the airport. Now Irma hit, things have changed. I came back and I remember I cried, and a lot of us haven't had a chance to deal with that. However, I can say, MP Butler, that we can reach out to the Ministry of Health and Urban Social Renewal to see if they can build a mental health facility, because they're building one currently in Antigua at CV Farm, and there is no catering for Barbuda, so I think that's something that we can do. As for the official Barbuda Council, I said we will meet on the 7th of June to effectively start that, and we'll work along with National Youth Parliament, Ms. Jessica Zuto, and we will do so. I will now take a motion for the adjournment of the sitting. I recognize the Deputy Chair, Kadale Joseph.
All stand.
Now that we are all standing, I want a seconder for the motions. I recognize MP Butler. Okay. We'd like to thank you all for being here today for the first sit-in. And I want you to first, before we go, give the students a round of applause. This has been in the works for a long while, since February, and through the help of the two teachers before and the students, were able to plan this in about 2 weeks to what you see here today. And it's the work in progress, not going to be the end of it, and we do hope that we have your full support. Before we go, I just want to introduce you guys to the President of the National Youth Parliament, and she says some brief words. President Jessica Zuto.
Good morning, everyone. As Ezekiel would have said, I am Jessica Zuta. I'm the president of the National Youth Parliament Association of Antigua and Barbuda. And so I am very happy to be here today and to witness the young persons from Barbuda sit and advocate very passionately on the different issues that affect Barbuda. I want you guys to give them another round of applause, because I believe that the issues that they raised here this morning are definitely issues that are faced here, and they're not to fall on deaf ears. So for those of you who can make the change here, I hope you listened and took notes. I definitely was listening and taking notes to utilize our platform in Antigua to advocate for Barbudans. I'm not sure I don't believe that it was mentioned, but on the 27th of June, 2025, the Antigua and Barbuda, the National Youth Parliament Association will be having a sitting in the Antiguan Parliament. And so we utilized this forum this morning to select one member from Barbuda to go and represent Barbuda in Antigua in that sitting. We'll have to discuss who is actually the person who will be going over, but it is my pleasure to say that we will have one of these young, bright minds sitting with us in Parliament on the 27th. I want to also take the opportunity to thank Mr. Ezekiel Francois for all of the hard work and dedication that he has put in to planning and executing this sitting this morning. Please give him a round of applause. I hope you guys rest assured knowing that Ezekiel is that voice in Antigua for Barbudans. He makes a lot of noise. Last but not least, I want to thank all of the students who took the time out to prepare. I want you to know that you did an excellent, excellent job today. I know that some of you might have been nervous when getting up on your feet. We still get nervous, and we've been doing it for years. So don't worry about the nerves. Just shake it off and do what you got to do. Thank you, everyone, for coming out, and good job. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, President Jessica. So before we adjourn, I want to say thank you to each and every one of you for being here, the Barbuda Devotional Group, Councillor Sharima Myers, everybody, President Zuto, the Maccheston George Secondary School, Holy Trinity Primary School, Teacher Francois, Principal Harris. We do appreciate it, and it does mean that you have an interest in the youth of Barbuda. I want to thank Sister Jackie. I want to thank Sister Charmaine, Selena, there's the Barbuda channel. They've helped with the snacks for the youth afterwards, because I know they're hungry, especially Mr. Jacob is hungry. And we are looking forward to having this again. So I'll just have a closing word of prayer. Mr. Harris, do you want to do the honors of praying? No? Okay, so I'll pray. Bow your heads, close your eyes. Father God, thank you for bringing us here to the end of the first annual Youth Barbuda Council sitting. I pray that what we would have done here today would resonate within the wider community. I pray for peace, healing among all of Barbuda. And I pray that what we've discussed today would have reached the right channels, and that we'd be able to get home safely and be with us as we go. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. Thank you all for coming. Sit down. Get your name tags. Yeah, we'll take one day.
This look good now.
Right at this time, we're just about to bring the close into this National Youth Parliament here in Barbuda. So Ezekiel Francois, why don't you just tell us, this has been the first, what has been your feeling?
Well, essentially for this sit-in, I wanted it to be an issue of platform for the younger Barbadians to have an issue, a voice, because I've been doing it on behalf of Barbados for the last 6 years. I wanted it to be a case where we open for the next generation, because I'm not the only smart Barbadian there is. So that's what I made sure that the sit-in was for.
And what was your feeling of the whole debate session, how you felt about it, the youths did?
Well, the youth did an excellent job. I am extremely impressed, given that we've only been practicing 4 times and we only had one in-person sitting and practice. They did an excellent job, and I'm very pleased and very proud of them, and I'm looking forward to working with them going forward.
Where do you think this organization go from here?
This organization, we're going to officially meet to bring on new members. So everybody from the age of between 11 to 21, that's a Barbuda National, will have a chance to join. And we're hoping to have at least 2 sittings a year and at least do some more community work going forward.
Thank you very much. So there you have it, viewers and listeners all across our media platforms. That way we bring to an end this special live coverage. We do apologize, we have to rush. But all on Barbuda Channel Abundant Life Radio, we say thank you very much for viewing. On behalf of the entire technical team here at Barbuda Channel, we want to wish you a wonderful weekend.